Okay, so today what we're going to do is we're going to build a new page and add content to the page. So here I am on this site, Ravon Dental, and the first thing that I'm going to do is log in. And you'll notice that I'm using /user to log in. You can go that route, or you can click on this login account link down in the footer of the page. You're going to enter your username and password, and then you will be logged in. You will know that you are logged in because your username will appear here, and you will see the administrative menu up top. So now I'm going to build a new page and add content to it. In the administrative menu, you'll see the content menu, add content. And in this instance, I'm just going to build a basic page. And here I'm going to title the page. You do not need to have a subtitle unless you want to. For the page category, as a basic page, it can live under any of these categories. And when you do that, it will structure the URL to better reflect the section or category that you put it under. In this area, the body, this is where you would add your content. There are two types of content you can add here. Full HTML with editor allows you to just type the content in. So here is my first paragraph for this page. I can select this information and change how it looks. I can make it into a heading. I can use the menu up here to create a link. If you want to link it within the site, you would just put the URL. If you want to link off-site, you will always want to open the tab in a new window for any off-site links. And if you're going to add an image, you can use the image button here to choose your image file. You will want to add text for what the image is. And usually with alternative text titles, you're just going to title it what the image is. So for instance, if it is a young girl smiling, you would want to put that information. If it's someone's logo, you'd want to put the logo. If it's dental equipment, you would want to put that, but it should be a generalized description of what the image is. You do not need to title the image. You can scale the image. These percentages are based on the page size. So if I'm scaling the image to 50% size, it will take up 50% of the page width. Padding is the amount of pixels that are added around the image as a padding or barrier between what it abuts to, for instance, text. And your alignment, you can align it to the right. These buttons do not work. You will need to use these buttons. These are advanced classes. You do not need to use these. You can also use this area to add media. I would recommend using this area if you only have one image on the page. The reason is this body image right here properly sizes the image and places it on the page on the right. I will show you what I mean by taking an existing image, and I'll just quickly save this so you can see what it looks like. There is her image on the page. Easy, didn't have to do anything. There's that. This one I got to do some more work with. There's the difference. So we're going to go back here. We're going to talk about these classes again. So again, if you're only adding one image to a page, body image is by far the quickest, easiest way to format the image. It will work in both desktop and mobile view. Body video would be the same type of thing, but by adding a video to the page. Generally speaking, we do not want to add large files to pages because they will be much slower load time. And when you do that and the page loads slower, it means that it will not rank as well in search. So instead, you will want to add a hosted video. This would be a link to a video that already exists on YouTube. In order to grab that link, you simply go to your YouTube page.
I mean, record.
Okay.
Cool.
So here's
Go for it.
Here's this video. You can either take the link there, or you can take this link here and copy it. And you can add it right there. And that video will appear on the page, perfectly sized and able to be seen in all viewports. So then what are these two other things? Hero Media is the banner across the top of the page. This should always be something that is horizontally ratioed, meaning it should be a horizon versus the Eiffel Tower. It should be much wider than it is tall. And a thumbnail would be if the page has a preview, which in this case with basic pages, they do not. But with things like events or careers or anything that requires a thumbnail, which you then click on to get to the page, you would want to use thumbnail. More content is for additional options on a page. The one option that would be of value on a page that is a basic page are the galleries. In order to embed galleries on a page, though, it requires a whole different set of instructions. And I would say that you should reference an article on that or elevate that ticket to the help desk where we can help you with that. So I'm going to select none there so that doesn't show up. You will see, once you're all set with your page, that there is a URL that is automatically generated. Now you'll see that it has the About Us right there. Why is that? That's because we selected the page category with About. If I selected Resources, and then I save the page, I have to go back into it. There's the Hero Media, so that's the image that goes across the top. There's our YouTube video, and then here's all of our content. You will now see that since they don't have a resources category, it's just defaulting to /test page. You can have none though, and you can generate whatever URL you would like. However, I would say that what you would want to do is make sure that you're utilizing the structure that we have outlined in our hierarchy document, which shows exactly where you should place information. So if this is to live on the top level of the page or menu, then that's fine. We can just use that. But if it's supposed to be nested, so for instance, under community, oops, and then the URL off of that, you can type it right here as well, which is quite convenient. For the most part, you'll want to keep this clicked because the system understands where the URL should go. I am now saving this. And if I want to add it to the menu structure, this is where you would go to Menus, Main Menu, Add Link. And if you just start typing, you'll see the test page is right there. In the menu title, you'll want to add test page or whatever the menu title it is. And then under the parent link, this is where you would put it. So for instance, it could go under the About Us, and then it will automatically put that page in the menu there. And that is it. That is how one creates a basic page. These are other content types, and they require different actions in order to complete them, but they are all basically the same type of actions. Meaning, if I am to create a service page, you will see the same information that we just went over. Title, category, a predefined stub, and you will see the URL in these titles. And you will want to select whichever one goes with whatever type of content you are adding. And then again, if someone contributed it, so wrote the article or whatever, then you will select who wrote it. And media, again, is the same. And again, in this body, this is where you would type the content out. As regards this area, I had mentioned before that there are two types of editors. The first type is full HTML with editor, which means that you can just use this editor up here to help you lay your content out. However, if you want full control over what your page looks like, you can switch the text format to full HTML and then just use HTML commands. Obviously, I cannot type very well today. Etc. And this renders as the HTML that you write on the page. And sometimes it's much easier to control things like, for instance, where you want to place your images. And here I can place an image file and tell it exactly where it should align to and its size. And again, if I wanted it, say, up here before the list, it would align to the left and this list would be aligned to the right. But again, I only recommend this if you understand HTML. And that is it. I hope this was beneficial. One last thing I will show you about the content when you create a page. When you go into just content, it will say who the author of the page is. if it's published or not, and when it was last updated, as well as the title. Sometimes if you've created many pages at the same time, this menu area is much more useful because you can sort by content type. So I can look at all of my basic pages that were created. I can find them immediately, and I can go into them from here. And if I wanted to keep them unpublished because I wanted to make sure that the client was logged in and saw the changes and then approved them on the live site, I would simply have it saved as unpublished. And again, you will then see the status as unpublished. So it won't appear on the live site, but it will if you are logged in. Also, if you want to simply remove this page, this operation allows you to simply delete the page. Again, I hope that was helpful. And if there are more specific questions that you need about adding content to a site, please let us know at support@geniusplatforms.com.